Look, if you're trying to heal, stop doing these 5 things immediately. So most survivors, they don't know it, but they're kind of keeping themselves stuck. And let's go over what actually works. But first, number 1, the first thing that really doesn't work is suppressing your emotions, right? Because what ends up happening is that those emotions will resurface later on. And one of the things that we teach in one of our trainings is really how to tap back into that emotion and fully get it out of your system. The second thing that we're going to talk about is how important it is to release and control those emotions as well. To have that emotional, oh God, how would I describe it? It's like having that emotional patience and control in your life again, where you're kind of like, instead of like a ship without a rudder, you're back in control of where you're going. The next thing I wanted to talk about that really doesn't work is trying to think your way out of this, like logic, right? One of the things that survivors do is they make this like gigantic list of rules of how to be safe, right? One of them that was really ridiculous that I had was I needed to stay away from all men who had like slight gray on the side of their heads because the attacker had that, right, in my case. And you wouldn't believe it. I'd walk around and I would see somebody that had just a similarity, right? And immediately my body would react. And it's like all these stupid rules that never provide any value are causing you a lot of pain. And that's one of the things they have to realize is that this like logic you try and use to move through the situation, it's usually counterproductive. And it's usually leading to a whole bunch of rules that end up making you want to feel like you just want to stay in your freaking house, right? Which we don't want. So what you can do is train your mind with some powerful emotional rewiring tools. And that's exactly what we're experts in here at Acceleration Zone. So here's the invitation. Right now we're going to have, here we go. Right now we're going to have a actual challenge called the Awakening Challenge. And that's a 4-session course. We're going to go into some of these rewiring tools that are absolutely critical so you can actually have that confidence that you're not living your life by a bunch of rules that you just made up that think you are making you safe or more sane, when in reality they're just putting a whole bunch of triggers all throughout your life that immediately get popped off one after another after another. And what we're going to do in the course is we're going to allow you to really take like a third-party look at your life and look at it and be like, huh, and look at some of these rules that you've come up with that are probably causing you a lot of frustration and even probably causing you some of your flashbacks. So again, we want you in our free course. I didn't even mention that. It's totally free, by the way. And we're going to have 4 sessions, and you're going to learn a ton and get yourself back on track, heading in the right direction, not making these mistakes. And if you want to know that 5th mistake, we're going to cover in the class. All right, see you there.